Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We are moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Carolina Panthers and the New England Patriots. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, I got to tell you, we envy you right now in that nice dry studio as we are at soggy and windy Gillette Stadium here in Foxborough, Mass. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Carolina Panthers and the New England Patriots. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at this Patriots team entering play. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
Two weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here come the Patriots to take over on offense. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
And I saw that he had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, but they're at home. I guess he's going to try and find a way to get the home crowd involved early.
Ricky. Check safety.
On first down, Dillon. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. And now we take a peek at the Patriot offense.
And I think we'll see a renewed sense of urgency out of this team this week because they have to make sure they don't waste this homestand. They had a home game last week, lost it. Now they've got the second straight. They've got to take advantage of it, get a win before they head out on the road.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. First carry of the game for Jalen Samuels. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. We run through the starters now defensively for Carolina. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
And being able to set the tone early in this game, because when you get down to it, it's that sign that we saw in their football facility when we visited with them. The one that said no explosives, no big plays, no chunk plays. That's what they've got to take care of.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Rodgers. He's got his man. That's Wallace. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 14 yards is the pickup there on the New England first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated.
That's caught at the 25. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. On play action, it's Rodgers. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. Cooper Kupp, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Patriots drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Now, this is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really haven't. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it's finished off by a Pats touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here now are the Panthers for their first drive of the game. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future All-Pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
They'll run on first down. Dillon. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. To throw is Rodgers. They'll get this one to Kupp, complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Now from back at the 9 after that last play, this is 3rd and goal. On play action, now Rodgers. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. 2 touchdown passes now here in this first quarter for Aaron Rodgers. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack. Marcel Darius flies in at 331 pounds for the sack. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll right. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 42. A big play there for the Panthers. And even 40 yards.
Now that one hurts defensively. They forced them into 3rd and long, had the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3-and-out. They'll set up to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Back to throw here. And that is incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So they declined the penalty. That seems a little odd.
I'm trying to work through it and work with them to figure out why.
Well, someone's got to be confused.
That's what I think. I'm pretty sure that the bench is saying take the penalty, and somehow in the heat of the moment, they thought they were saying decline the penalty, and that's going to work against them. They should have taken it.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Throwing now is Rodgers. Man open, it's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. So the ball moves from 138 to the other as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Dillon. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. He gets it to Cooks. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Aaron Rodgers, 3 first-half touchdown passes. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And it is now 21-0. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with a New England touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
I got you.
2nd and 11. And he will find his man on the outside.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Man, that's trash. That's trash. Echo.
Here's 2nd and 8. That's complete to DK Metcalf. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. This is brought in by Gibson. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. A 24-yard touchdown as they are now on the board here in the first half. That pass also evens the ledger for the rookie quarterback. Had the interception earlier, and now he gets the touchdown throw.
The ideal touchdown-interception ratio is, what, 3-to-1 for the best quarterbacks? But he's a rookie. Just getting back to even is a big deal. Increases the confidence his teammates have in him as he tries to become their leader.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Get a look at this offense led by Cooper Kupp as they make their way back onto the field. And his 2 touchdowns, a big reason they're winning right now.
So meaningful when you score and it's got your team out there in front. Changes the complexion of everything you're doing. It's one thing to score garbage time, but these count. This is a big deal, and he's making those types of plays, and I think they'll keep finding ways to get it to him.
I was just going to say probably going to go back to it. A run there on 1st down gets 3 up to the 28. Now whistles here, and it looks like we've got a Panther that's having some difficulty down there getting up. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They go draw play. It's Dillon. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. This is taken at the 18. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. 2nd interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. A good pick up there, 20 yards. Here's Rodgers. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Throwing is Rodgers. And the pressure gets to him again. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And they'll have the football, but deep in their own territory as he's brought down at the 5. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And oh, that is going to be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. And it's taken in at the 9. The Pats at the line, ready to go. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
And they're going to be waiting for him as they get him behind the line. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. We'll get started down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. And it's the Dolphins who have the lead in that one. Nick Chubb, a touchdown run in that first half. Next, we head up to the Windy City. Check out the Bears at home, Soldier Field. And it's the visiting Washington Redskins who have the lead in that one. Jimmy Garoppolo has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last as we head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. And in that one, it's the visiting Giants who have the lead. The Giants trying to gut this one out as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. In our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front as we hand things back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Broken tackle.
Let's go. Let's do it.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
This is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. He'll look to throw. This is the tight end Fant. That one goes for 24 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 yards and a Panther first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Well, they certainly haven't been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. The sack by Robert Quinn. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll set up a throw. This is caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it second and goal.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft.
In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Robert Quinn able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Trey Boston. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. On the draw, here's Peyton. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
49, Mike, 49.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line.
Good job.
And that's his second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Now Rodgers. That's caught. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll try and pound it in with Dillon. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Back at the 5-yard line now, second and goal. Rodgers now to throw. Now he's got it. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down. And he is in. Touchdown, New England. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Pats take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. The extra point up and good. And the lead is now 24. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. A gain there of 21 yards. Back now in Foxborough. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. 2nd and 1. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a 2-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. 2-hand. Oh, I get it. 2-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. They'll keep it on the ground. Dillon. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go. New England on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 9. To throw, it's Rodgers. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one, and New England has a 1st down. Rodgers now, pretty remarkable, 14 of 15 through the air, only 1 incompletion, and another 1st and 10 here. They run on 1st down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. Dillon. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4. That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation. Trying to get the first with Samuels. And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup. Rodgers now on 1st down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some 1st downs, just as good as running the football. Minus 9 yards on the play, and now it's 3rd down. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. On the run, it's Peyton. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards on the gain there, so from 2nd and 19, now we've got a 3rd and 10.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. That one caught by Gibson. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So not quite a 1st down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to...
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Trey Boston. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. They'll run now with Peyton.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
It's a gain of 4. Makes it 3rd and 2.
319. I want that. Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball. Give me that ball, defense.
So this will wind up a victory for the New England Patriots. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Pats, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again.